Do angels have a body? Well, the Catholic faith says that they are creatures that are purely spirituals. They don't have a body, and so in order to try to understand what could be a pure spirit that doesn't have a body, who isn't almighty like God, who obviously has a totally different nature, there's no difference between God's intelligence and him, he is immortal and unchangeable. Angels are creatures that appeared at one point but who don't have a body. No body means that it'll raise questions such as angels' sex, but it doesn't make sense except maybe symbolically, because some angels can have qualities that are mainly masculine such as efficiency, or more feminine such as humility, tenderness, and patience, but all of this is symbolical. Which means that angels, for not having a biology, can't reproduce, and the consequence is also that they're not in a timeline like us, a time that we measure in second. For them, it can't exist. They are from a totally different order, such that, being pure spirits, their way of measuring time is, following Saint Thomas of Aquinas, called the end quote, evum end quote, it is something apart from the psychological time. For example, if one is in the arms of their beloved, an hour will seem a minute. And if one sits on a heating plate, a minute will seem an hour. Angels don't work this way. They are spirits, and so they don't have a psychology linked to the brain either, a psychology that is common among animals. Their time is the evum. It means that they think of something, they think of its cause. They think of its effect. It's a time that measures the succession of thoughts, and concretely, if the Big Bang appeared around 14.6 billions of years ago, and that in the first second counting in terrestrial time, are established scientific constants absolutely precise, and if angels had a role to play in it, well, this second can be, for them, the time of a work that lasted years, because they work thoughts by thoughts. It's another world. Secondly, they don't live in a place. An angel can't have a place since it doesn't have a body, so we'll say that an angel is in a place when they take action in a place, but it's a way of talking. For example, if an angel would lift this one remote, we could say that the angel is in the remote, but in reality it is rather their action that works on the remote, and the angel is still not located, and it is once again a metaphor. However, one thing that is way more complicated to understand is the following question: can an angel see or listen? Do they have an imagination, memories like images just as we do? The answer is no. They can't, they don't have these faculties, they are something else. Which means that to substitute our senses, that see things from the exterior, their intelligence is able to enter the meaning of things, to understand the atomic structure, for example, the life, or atoms. It's a very different look on the world. Also, they don't see our face, they don't know our smell, but they see our structure, and they guess, from our psychology, that they understand our deepest thoughts, or at least, some of them. Another thing even more special: can an angel who loves feel emotions? Such as we see in movies such as end quote, Josephine the Georgian Angel end quote, French TV show about the adventures of a guardian angel? The answer is no. Emotions, that animals too feel, is linked to the brain, and so when an angel loves, we have to understand that their love is purely spiritual. What is spiritual love? Well, if we seek within us spiritual love, it corresponds to the time when, with our intelligence and so, our will, we want good for someone else. An angel does it without feelings. They do it with a precise analysis. For example, our guardian angel loves us because they want to take us to life everlasting, in heaven, and they do it all the way possible. It is a love that is efficient, loyal, that is not submitted to some moods, but that seems non-human. And it's true, they are not humans. They are something else. So, in the end, if we want to understand what an angel is, since they don't have a biological or a psychical life, they still have their intelligence that understands very effectively, but really effectively, DNA, the structure of matter that is no secret for them. We've been exercising for the past 40,000 years and only now mankind is starting to understand the basics. And secondly, a will that is capable to love and so to want good to someone effectively, and a will capable of working for this good effectively. This will has two main faculties, to love and so to find a purpose and to apply ways to this purpose, which is their second faculty. The third one is their power over matter. Why do they have it? They have the capacity to move, not a body like us, and so through this body to move other objects. They can move every bodies because, as we'll see, they have a role of engineer. That's why they are. And they knew it from the beginning. So it is normal that they are given to move matter. Obviously, one of the consequences that they can create themselves a body that we can see, as told in the book of Tobit, when the archangel Raphael appears as a human being to help a young girl and an old man who are suffering. This body is a visible one. The angel tells Tobit, and quote, "You thought you saw me eating, but it was only an illusion," end quote. So these three capacities will help them during their mission. And we have to remember that they don't have a body. An hypothesis that we can highlight some religions, and maybe a verse of St. Paul say that, between pure spirits and us who have a body, a psychology, and a spirit, there could be, between the two, intermediate spirits that Muslims call, end quote, jinns, end quote, that could have a psychology, and so they see, they hear, but their body is a psychical one and not a biological one. Maybe it doesn't go against the faith, and St. Paul says, end quote, "For our struggle is not against flesh and blood but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms," end quote. Then maybe that in the hierarchy of angels lives a creature that Judaism and Christianism don't understand but that Islam do.